Hi everyone. In the previous video, we already have seen what are all our responsibilities in terms of module 3 of your syllabus, which basically talks of two very important things which I have already told. One is the valuation of enterprise, the valuation part in a corporate restructuring scenario. Whenever a company wants to acquire another company, or whenever two companies intend to merge with each other for a great value creation, let's say, the most important part that becomes essential for both the parties involved is the valuation. And now, when I say valuation, as we have seen earlier as well, the valuations can be of two types. One is the valuation of the company as a whole, or the valuation of assets which alone the company is intending to acquire. Or a total business valuation may also mean valuation of the assets of the enterprise and valuation of the company as a whole. So when we talk of valuation, what valuation exactly means again depends upon the type of understanding between the parties, that is the acquiring company and the target company. What is that you are trying to acquire is most important. When a merger happens, obviously it's a different issue. I mean, both the companies need to be valued, the exchange ratios or the issue of shares from the new company which is formed need to be thought of. That's a different. In case of merger, the valuation part is attended little differently because both the companies need to be valued, and when they merge into one, what is that the existing shareholders are going to get from the new company is what is going to be decided. So invariably, in respect of a merger, it has to be the valuation of the company as a whole, since both the companies get liquidated and a new company comes into existence. But however, when an acquisition happens, the acquiring company may be intending to acquire the target completely, or some portion of business of this particular target company also may be sometimes acquired. So depending upon whether you are acquiring a complete company and its business as a whole, or a portion of business of that particular company, is what will decide about how the valuation need to be attended. It can be valuation of the assets which are being acquired, or it can be valuation of the business which is being acquired out of many businesses into which that particular target company is, or it can be the company as a whole in case the acquirer is intending to acquire the entire company. I hope you're getting clarity on this. Okay, now we just have to go a little bit further and understand why, what are the various factors that need to be looked into at the time of valuation in a corporate restructuring scenario, or in case of a merger or acquisition. What are the criterion on which the valuation normally depends? How do we go for valuation? When it is valuation of assets, what should be our approach? When it is valuation of the company as a whole, what should be our approach? And what are the various reasons or the various criterion on the basis of which a particular valuation method is chosen? Now we need to study all these things in detail now, though the focus of this particular session will be entirely on the theoretical part of valuation. Then in the subsequent one we will go for the methods, the formulae and other things. Here we, in the next 10-15 minutes, we try to understand what are the different facets of valuation. Is it a science or an art? And invariably it is both. Then how do you treat it as a science and art? This is just for the sake of understanding the subject, and there could be a couple of questions also in the examination from this point of view as well. But however, some theoretical part maybe in the next 5 minutes we try to understand about valuation in respect of a corporate merger or acquisition. And again I repeat, when we talk of a case of a merger, both the companies entirely need to be valued, because essentially they are going to be liquidated and a new company is going to be formed, and the shares of this new company need to be issued to the existing shareholders of both the companies. Alright, so in such a case, in case of merger, invariably it is the entire company that needs a valuation. Entire company, that is, let's say for example A and B are coming together, the valuation of A as a company and the valuation of B as a company need to be done entirely, and then probably A and B merge and a company called C comes into existence. Now the C company need to issue shares for both A company and the B company. Now in what ratio these shares need to be issued? It means what and that essentially depends upon the valuation of both the company, that is company A and company B. If company A is valued more, it is but obvious that a large number of shares will be issued to the shareholders of company A, and a company which is valued at a lesser price obviously will get a lesser chunk of shares from the newly formed company. I mean, this is a general common sense issue which we need to discuss before we go into depth about the formulae, why a particular formula is chosen, then under what scenario you need to do it, and what are the various factors that you need to take into account in arriving at a decision on the method of valuation. These things we can see a little later. Now, the next 5 minutes, all these different aspects that I've just told you, we shall discuss one by one, and in each of these areas, I shall give you certain points which you need to remember and elaborate them in the event of a question coming in the examination. So these points need to be kept in mind invariably on the subject of valuation, and I shall be explaining each of these points to you in detail, and based upon the explanation you should be able to elaborate in case of a full length question appearing in the examination. Okay, and I also suggest all of you at this point of time to please have a look at your previous year question papers. I already had put up a request on the WhatsApp last time. Kindly share a couple of question papers on the WhatsApp, and the kind of questions that are being asked on this particular topic, we can also address those questions for your benefit. Now we move on to the various aspects concerned to valuation of an enterprise, or valuation of business, or valuation of assets, as the case may be, in respect of a corporate restructuring scenario, both on a merger as well as on a acquisition. Those of you who have studied accounting on amalgamation, absorption and reconstruction perhaps are aware that whenever any business is acquired, whenever any acquisition happens, normally there is something called a price which is paid for the acquisition, and the price paid for the acquisition is technically called purchase consideration. This is already, I think the word purchase consideration is quite a familiar word to all of you as your postgraduate students as of now. So probably at your degree level, when you have studied the subject on merger and acquisition, perhaps you have already come across this word, purchase consideration. It is the amount that is paid by the acquiring company to the target company. So now, how do you fix this price is what is leading us to the ultimate event of valuation. So I need to fix a price. If I have to acquire a company, I also need to pay them whatever is the price fixed. Now how do I fix this price is what leads us to the valuation part. Now there can be very many ways in which this particular purchase consideration can also be met. This also is very clear to all of you already. It can be an all cash deal, or it can be a cash plus paper deal, where in addition to some amount of cash being paid to the target company shareholders, the balance will be paid in terms of shares. So it also is important to understand how the purchase consideration is met. This also to a large extent, I mean just an initial idea as to how it could be met also greatly helps in trying to go for what kind of evaluation procedure need to be adopted. Although the question of payment arises after the valuation, some amount of idea as to what is the cash strength of the company, is it able to meet the entire purchase consideration in cash, or is it that it would not be able to pay more amount in cash, and invariably it is the paper deal and the securities are going to be issued to the shareholders of the target company. If that is the case, then probably an idea on that also will largely help in trying to understand what type of valuation is. Please understand, there is no tailor-made standard formula or a specific valuation method which is generally applied for all the acquisitions. No, it doesn't happen like that. It's never so. There is no common formula at all. The kind of valuation that you want to do will entirely depend upon how the whole deal is structured. Are you acquiring, as I just told you a couple of minutes before, are you acquiring a whole company? Are you acquiring all different businesses of a same company? Or are you acquiring one part of the business? Or is it that simply you are acquiring few assets of the target company? Depending upon what exactly is the understanding between the parties and the requirements of the parties, the kind of valuation need to be applied. Now, what is extremely important on the valuation side is, see, this is something, a price which is ultimately determined post valuation is something which has to be acceptable to both the parties. So the acceptance of both the parties on a consensus of both the parties on the price is extremely important for the transaction to materialize. So what is important is the method that you adopt, the way you handle things right through the process of valuation. Everything has to be absolutely transparent and acceptable to both the target company representatives as well as the acquiring company representatives. So you please imagine a situation where the consensus on the price, I mean the final price that you determine that need to be paid to the target company has to be valued in a very scientific manner. Now what price is what price is right, what price is okay, is my price more, am I paying something more than what was required for, or is it that I am paying quite less than what I was supposed to pay. See, all these considerations will matter, but however a final answer to all this will only be available to you post merger or acquisition. It's only the post merger acquisition scenario or the results that will eventually make one understand whether the price paid was accurate or near to accurate or not. An accurate price estimation is next to impossible, forget it, in any acquisition or merger scenario, because there are a lot of factors which are extraneous in nature where best judgment need to be made for the purpose of valuation, and sometimes depending upon whether these favorable factors really work in our favor or not, also to a large extent determine the post merger or acquisition performance of the company. So to that extent, please understand, valuation and the final determination of price to be paid to the target company from the acquiring company becomes extremely important. Now we will look at the first stage of valuation, and the first stage is purpose. The first stage is the purpose. Why, with what purpose or intention the acquiring company is looking at acquiring the target company. The purpose is what is extremely important, and depending upon the purpose for which you are taking over the company or the purpose for which two companies are getting merged will largely determine